Alright, hello everybody, this is Zax299. Going to be playing another free game, brand new game that just came out less than an hour ago, I believe, on Steam. This is another visual novel, and if you've been watching my channel, you know that I particularly like some of these visual novels. I've played a lot of them. So, this game here is about a girl who has a dream about the end of the world. And so it sounds pretty interesting. I believe it's a pretty short play game, and it's called The Bottom of the Well. So it says here, my profile is Zaxter99. It's made by Red Nettle. Let's go ahead and jump in. Welcome to Bottom of the Well. This game is a visual novel, meaning it is a mainly text-based piece of interactive fiction, a book where you get to decide what happens next. Most of the gameplay consists of picking your choice from a selection of options, which will further the story. Bottom of the Well does have some gameplay aside from multiple choice, though. The most important of which is the kind of Alice, our protagonist, you are going to play. For your first playthrough, we recommend you use the default Alice, but the customization is there to be used. Even if you complete a game, a different Alice might have a very different experience. If nothing else, you might just find a new way to die. Thank you for playing our game, Red Nettle Studio. Well, thank you, Red Nettle Studio. I'm excited to go ahead and jump into this. So we have me, here's Alice, we're playing the role of her. We have different aspects, it looks like, of her. Survival, combination of calculating pragmatism and experience, represents Alice's ability to stay out of trouble, and if trouble finds her, to deal with it effectively. It is an invaluable skill in the post-apocalyptic. So survival is obviously going to be pretty important in the end of the world, the post-apocalyptic world. Supplies. This skill represents Alice's ability to organize her supplies, both food and others, such as flashlights, first aid kits, etc. A high skill means she can carry more things in her backpack and also influences the availability of food and certain items. That's going to be super important. Fitness. Skill represents Alice's level of fitness. The higher fitness will allow her to complete more physical, strenuous tasks and also improve her overall resistance to radiation. Another super valuable skill. Career. Probably not so important. Majored in English, which is not the most immediately useful skill in the post-apocalypse. The career stat is part skill, part representative of her position in academia, which might be less than useful in the post-apocalypse. It might, however, open up some interesting venues of approach. Social life, yeah, her Facebook status is really going to be important in the post-apocalyptic world. This skill represents the time Alice has spent honing her ability to function in a group, either as a leader or as a productive group member. A social Alice is likely to make more friends and influence people. I guess it could be semi-important. And dating, her love life. Alice, like everyone else, desires companionship and love, but unlike the others, this is not a skill. Rather, it represents the level to which she has committed to her current relationship. In the post-apocalypse, such commitment might not be of any particular use, unless something. Can't scroll it. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how we get that back over. Whatever. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with a randomly generated Alice to make this interesting. Let's go with a randomly generated one and see what happens. Alright. A random Alice makes the computer randomly generate an Alice for you with random stats. Notice that if you already clicked Default Alice, Custom Alice, or Dark Alice, you will need to click Re-Roll to create a new Alice. Roll a random Alice. Here we go. So we should get some different stats here on these different aspects of her. Random Alice rolled. Oh, that's not good. Low in survival, low in supplies, high in career, which probably isn't going to matter a lot. She's got a decent fitness. Social life and dating, not that good. But I don't really like that one. Let's roll something more interesting. I'm not really looking for things up here. I'm just looking for more interesting, maybe dating or something. I don't know. Let's roll again. Again, don't like that. Roll again. There we go. Now she's got a good supply, decent fitness, low survival, low career, low social life, dating. I want to get a high social life. I think that's what I want to get. I'm going to keep rolling until I get a high social life, just to see how that plays out. No. Come on, give me a high social life here. I should just pick what I want, since I'm just randomly rolling until I get what I want. There we go. There we go. That'll be good. High dating, pretty high dating, very high social life, decent fitness, low in her career, no survival, and low in supplies. Now this will be interesting. This is what I'm looking for. But we still did it randomly, right? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and play this game and see what's up with Alice right after this. Alright, welcome back everybody. Alright, dreamdiary.tech, September 13, 2015. Today I had the weirdest stream of my life. I'm waiting for Joe to come online, blah blah blah, something happened. Alright, get a chat popped up. Morning, hey? Morning. Did you catch the anniversary reading last night? No, well, I tried, but I fell asleep. Listen, about that. You fell asleep? Oh, come on. Alice in Wonderland is like our favorite. Let me finish. Something happened. I was tuning in on my radio. You're such a Luddite. Amazing, I could even catch you online. Alright, what does Luddite mean? Because I don't even know. This is bad. I know. This is bad. But what is a Luddite? I have no idea. So, let's find out. Luddite. A member of any of the bands of English workers who destroyed machinery. Or how about this? A person opposed to increased industrialization or new technology. Okay. So, you're such a Luddite. Amazing I can even catch you online, because she's basically saying she doesn't like computers and stuff. Alright. Shut up. I'm not a Luddite. I just like analog things. Anyway, I was tuning into the broadcast and I must have hit the AM switch or something, because suddenly the channel changed to something else. What? Aliens? Uh-oh. Government-run numbers? Stations? No. It was this weird, like, white noise at first. It's hard to explain why I was so drawn to it. I could hear snippets of some melody, maybe lyrics, but the signal was weak. So you turned it off and continued looking for the Alice broadcast. So I went out to my balcony and turned the antenna around until the signal came through clear. It now sounded more like music, with the odd signal in the background. When logic and proportion have fallen sleepy dead, and the white knight is talking backwards, and the red queen's off with her head. Oh, so somebody's pirate radio broadcast of golden oldies? It felt like there was something else there. Some message that the music was hiding. I know it sounds weird, but then I fell asleep. What a story. No, hear me out. I dreamed I didn't know I was dreaming. Do you understand? It was entirely lucid. But like waking up in another world, except I didn't think of it as another world. And again, if you don't know what lucid is, lucid dreaming means basically your ability to, you're kind of conscious during your dream, and you can kind of, shape the dream the way you want it to go. In a lucid dream, rather than just, being totally subconscious and seeing your dream play out. You actually kind of have an active role in it, or can have some ability to shape the dream in the way you want it to unfold. So that's what a lucid dream is. Ugh, does this make any sense? You had a super lifelike dream where you didn't know you were dreaming, but you were still lucidly in control. Sounds pretty rad to me. I'm sure it would have been, except for the whole end of the world apocalypse bit in the dream. Okay, now you've got my attention. Yeah, that does sound pretty cool. Alright, so menu, talk, that's probably our survival or eat or something. And our status, happy. Wednesday, July 1st, cloudy, 8:59. So, like I said, it was the end of the world. Everything I did that day felt like the real thing. Every smell, every sound, every color, every touch. It's important you know that. I wasn't acting like I would in a dream. I didn't know it was a dream. Heavy. There was no warning, no build-up, nothing. Just between one moment and the next, the TV had turned to the emergency alert system, and this voice that sounded like it had been recorded in the 60s told us that we were under attack. Were you alone? No, I was with some friends. We were having a movie night at my place, watching, holy shit, I think it was actually the new Star Wars movie. There were some scenes where an old Han Solo was just about to get knocked over when the TV just switched. Wait. The new Star Wars? As in Episode 7? On DVD? You know that dates your dream, right? I hadn't even thought about that. Sorry, go on. What happened next? Like I said, the TV suddenly turned to the emergency alert system. Jacked the volume all the way up too. I didn't even know they could do that. The broadcast told us we were under attack right now and that we needed to get to shelter. That we had less than 30 minutes before bombs hit. Oh wow. Jesus, sounds scary. At first, I didn't want to believe it. I switched the channel, but they were all the same. And then the sirens started. Tornado sirens, flood sirens, I don't know. And I knew things were serious. So, what did you do? Okay, here's where I get a choice. I went online to find out what was going on. I immediately tried to call Chess. I needed to think about my options. I think that... Her being a social butterfly and really into romance as well, I think she would call Chess, I assuming that's like her boyfriend, but I don't know. Let's try that. Chess? Who's that? My, boyfriend. I mean, I don't have a boyfriend, but in my dream I did. Wait up. Tell me more about this sudden new boyfriend of yours. I thought you weren't into the dating scene. Actually, I've been thinking about putting myself out there. Like, maybe some online dating or something? Although I'm kind of afraid to check the OkCupid right now. What if there's a guy there named Chess? Oh, that'd be freaky. Good icebreaker. Hi, I'm Alice. I dreamed about you last night. You were my end-of-the-world buddy. That's funny. Funny. Aren't I just? You were saying about Chess. What kind of a name is that anyway? I wasn't really. I mean, yeah, he was pretty hot, I guess. And smart. And into me. What more could you ask for? I can sense you blushing all the way over here. Blushing about a guy in her dream. Maybe I should check my OkCupid profile, actually. So, what did your boyfriend think? Well, first I tried calling him, but all I got was a pre-recorded network busy message. But the net still worked, so I hit him up there. I mean, we did most of our communications in chat anyway. And I found him. But there was no time for, well, anything. I started typing, holy hell, what the F is going on, style stuff, and he just tensely replied he had to go. Oh, wow. That's a little blunt. He told me he needed to go get his sister. His sister? How come? He'd mentioned her a few times. She's disabled, but lives in a house by herself, out somewhere in the boroughs. Did he ask you to come too? He didn't ask. I did. I'm going to be outside my apartment in 5 minutes, he said, and then logged off. I guess that's an invitation of sorts, so what'd you do? Well, I knew that Chess wasn't going to wait for me. If I wanted to go with him, I had to go right away. Just grab my stuff and go. Making quick decisions on the spur of the moment doesn't sound like you. So what'd you do? I went online to find out what was going on. I needed to think about my options. I went with Chess to help him out with his sister. I'm going to say Chess is probably going to be pretty important to her, so she's going to go try to help him out because Chess is important to her. So I decided to go with Chess. I mean, how couldn't I? He clearly needed help, and he was totally hot. Altruistic. How long have you been dating? Cynic. Long enough to know my feelings were real. I mean, they felt real in the dream. Where did the sister live again? In a borough? Practically the suburbs, so pretty far. Chess said he usually takes a subway or a bus. Chess actually lived just down the street, and we always had a customary place to meet. We didn't even need to confirm the place anymore, but it didn't seem very likely we'd be able to reach or catch a bus or the subway. So how are you planning on getting to the sister in less than 30 minutes? good point. Oh, spoiler, the bombs didn't start dropping on us within 30 minutes. It took longer than that. They did start, though. Well, that's lucky. Yeah, well, it didn't mean we weren't in a hurry. But you didn't leave empty-handed, though, right? Oh, right, yes, I grabbed the biggest bag I had. An old backpack I never bothered to throw out. Woo, for hoarding, I guess. Alright, so now we get a load of our inventory with different things. We have whatever this is. What is this? Bar of emergency chocolate. Chocolate is a holy shit. I have a deadline tomorrow morning, but I guess this kind of emergency also qualifies. That's funny. Well, she's definitely going to take a bedroll. So, how do I load that up? Oh, right here. Take sleeping bag. Click. Okay. And take food. 1 day. Absolutely. Not going to drop the sleeping bag. Take spare clothes. That's important. Okay, where are her spare clothes at? I said take spare clothes, damn it. Come on, game. Right here? I don't know. What am I supposed to do? Take radio. Oh, probably don't have any more room for anything. Yeah, I probably don't. That's fine. People in The Walking Dead wear the same clothes for like months, so I'm fine. I got a bedroll to sleep in and I got some food. Alright, so we're good. Go on. Burrow, sister. Bombs incoming. How did you plan to get there in the chaos? The chaos, yeah. The streets were nuts. Everything and everyone was going crazy. Crashes everywhere, but no one was responding. The street was completely gridlocked. I'm talking maybe 15 minutes after the first announcement here. All it takes is a few cars in the wrong place. But you live pretty centrally, right? It had to be better further out. Did Chess have a car? No, but if we wanted a car, there were tons around. People just left them keys in the ignition and ran. Holy shit, it must have been like Bedlam. It was. I was so scared. So, steal a car or walk? We discussed walking. It was like 14 miles or something. It'd probably take at least 4 or 5 hours on a good day, and this wasn't a good day. Maybe a good start, though. Things might clear up outside in the downtown area, and you might be able to steal a car there. Appropriate a car. Stealing sounds so criminal. Heh, whatever you say. Any other options except stealing, appropriating a car, and hoofing it? Something in between. I know a guy with a motorcycle. He really loves that motorcycle, but I wondered if maybe he'd be willing to borrow it. I mean, for F's sake, we were going to rescue a disabled woman. You know him well? Reasonably. I didn't know you knew how to drive a motorcycle. I'm a woman of many talents. So, what did you do? We decided to try appropriating a car. We decided to walk out of the worst chaos. We decided to try with my acquaintance with a motorcycle. I think we're going to steal a car. Or appropriate a car, rather. By your description, this seems like a kind of a bad idea. Well, finding a vehicle was easy, but they had all been abandoned for a good reason. They weren't going anywhere. I had to find one we could feasibly get out of here with. And the others? Were they just going to sit around doing nothing? It was my idea in the first place, but the others had a much more important task to figure out and clear an escape route, once and if I managed to find an appropriate car. Sounds like a plan. I wasn't really sure what I was looking for, just that we needed a car, stat. I found a station wagon open with a key in the ignition, no sign of the owner. I jumped in and gunned it, and got maybe half a block before I hit complete traffic stop. Everyone was beeping. People were abandoning their cars. All traffic rules forgotten. I can imagine that. So Matt H says, I'm not sure what else you expected. Yeah, well, I decided walking was the best option. The whole downtown area was gridlocked, cars everywhere, people running down the sidewalks and sirens blaring. It was like one of those disaster movies. No hope of driving anywhere, at any rate. But where was everyone going? Most of them were going home, I think. People were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there you were, running away from home. Once I made my decision, I stuck to it no matter how much I was filled with doubt. Half an hour was nothing at all, but luckily that estimate was completely wrong. Sometimes I'll walk half an hour in the wrong direction just because I'm stubborn and refuse to believe I'm lost. I didn't know what was the right direction, but I did try to get there as fast as possible, although that was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I was swept up in a mass of people and manhandled in the wrong direction more than once. Was there any danger, like people attacking each other or something? No, I thought we were all going in the same direction, but then I realized the crowd was heading somewhere I hadn't planned to go, a subway station. What'd you do? I elbowed a few people and ducked and weaved my way out of there before I was swept too far along, but I did lose precious time. Time, yes. Isn't that the thing you're fighting here? How far away were you planning on getting? Well, a lot further than I had gotten at that point. I could practically still see my apartment building, but the crowd was slowly thinning at least, and I actually saw a vehicle in motion, an ambulance weaving between the stalled cars with its sirens blaring. Oh, what'd you do? Did I plan what I planned to do? Find an appropriate car? I kept walking, although I started looking for shelter. I kept walking, intending to get away from danger before I had to stop walking. I'm going to say she sticks with it and she's stubborn to find a car. I'm not sure how you're ethically justifying this to yourself. It was a dream, huh? I was scared out of my wits and it seemed like a good idea at the time. Fair enough. So how'd you go about it? I kind of just jumped in the first open door I found. Of course there was no key because the driver still had it. He had just been on the other side of the car. Seeing me sitting there, he had a minor apocalyptic fit and ran at me, keys in hand. Uh-oh. God damn it, Alice. I knew you weren't car thief material. Don't underestimate me. I went into fight or flight mode, and for some reason, fight won over. As he came at me, cursing me to get out, I grabbed the door to pull it shut. He saw me go for it and ran forward. I slammed the door right on his key-carrying hand. Oh, that was cool. Ow, Alice, Jesus Christ. And then I grabbed the key off the floor while he was jumping around holding his possibly broken bones, jammed it into the ignition and sped off. Wow. I reiterate, Jesus Christ, Alice. Believe me, I thought the same thing. Also, the guy chased after me. I mean, I had just stolen his car, so I had to lose him first. Since traffic was moving so slowly, he could have easily caught up with me. A truly accomplished car thief. I'd lost some time, but I had a car, and traffic was moving. The roads were actually open now? Well, no. Everything was still extremely gridlocked, but the cars were at least moving without needing extra nudging. Getting caught on the freeway during the explosion doesn't seem like a good time, though. What was your plan? I decided to take the first available exit and find shelter. We had to get to the boroughs, of course. Jess knew the address. There we go. You actually made it that far? How long was it until the bombs actually hit? I'm not entirely sure, but something like 2 hours? I think they hit everywhere else before they hit us. I'm not really sure why, because it was a dream, silly. Huh. A missile shield? A missile shield. Do we have one of those? Anyway, I knew that getting us this far was a miracle. Whatever hope we might have of finding a better shelter than Chess's sister's house was nil. I told him that, and he agreed. All he wanted to do was to get there. I parked the car and we got out. So, was she there? Come on, this is exciting. We went up to the door and Chess started banging on it. After a few minutes, it opened on the chain and I could just barely see a mop of pale hair and scared eyes. He told her it was him, and she immediately opened the door and jumped into his arms. Jumped? So not a physical disability. It was, but she wasn't wheelchair bound constantly. There was, however, a wheelchair in the entry hall. Anyway, we didn't really have time for niceties. The bombs were coming. Right, Miss Pragmatic. So, battle plan? Well, I tried looking for a basement, but the place didn't have one, so I suggested building a little fort out of furniture in the living room, hoping the roof wouldn't come crashing down. What about, like, food and things? Whatever the cupboard contained, we took with us to our shelter, of course, and tried to protect it the best we could. So, the bombs, they actually hit then, in the dream? The first thing that happened was the windows blew in. I just closed my eyes and pulled up my knees and made myself as small as possible. Chess held his sister. The bombing continued for I don't know how long, but aside from the windows, we seemed to be pretty okay. Imagine what it must have been like downtown. I didn't want to think about what it was like downtown. It was scary enough out there. A few cars drove past and I heard sirens. At one point I ventured out to glance out the window. Once the bombs had stopped hitting, I saw a city center in flames. Well, looks like they wound up in a good spot then. But at least you got out. How long did you wait in the house? For as long as the supplies last for 24 hours. I wasn't planning on leaving. Yeah, I'll say I wasn't planning on leaving. Really? You felt that comfortable there? I was tired. I didn't want to fight anymore. Sure, a lot of the food in the house was covered in dust, and sure, it wasn't exactly the most sheltered place in the world, but I was tired. And the others? They wanted to keep going, so we separated. Oh, okay, so what happened then? I cleaned up as best I could, taped up the windows, dumped all the refuse outside, made food out of what I could. There was an ashen rain, then a black sludge rain, ew, then beautiful weather. People streamed by outside, but I ignored them. There's actually not much else to say. Huh? Well, I'd been feeling it for a long time already, but by then it just came to an end. I couldn't move anymore, I was too weak. I had to rest, but I couldn't even keep food down. In the end, I couldn't even stay conscious or talk. Oh wow. Radiation poisoning? Yes. Of the acute, bad kind. I suppose it's lucky I can't really say much more of my last time on Earth. I was too delirious, too out of it, to really notice or realize anything anymore. I came in and out of it, but mostly I remember incredible pain whenever I was conscious. I remember Chess being there, comforting me, giving me water when I asked for it, but in the end his face disappeared in a blur as well. Oh wow. And this concluded my dream. Well, that was interesting. What do you think? I think it felt incomplete, like there was something missing. That wasn't the way it was supposed to end, you know? Dreams are supposed to end in certain ways? Are you sure? Huh. This one was, I think. It felt like I was trying to... This one was, I think. It felt like it was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening closely enough. Maybe you can try again next night. See if you can hear the same recording. Speaking of what frequency this was on? That's the weird part. When I tried to see, I realized I had hit the right channel, and that it was in fact reading Alice in Wonderland. And this isn't exactly some obscure number station frequency on the AM bands. Well, maybe you'll dream it next night again anyway. That's a good thing with dreams, you can always dream them again. And maybe do something different the second time around. Alright, so obviously I didn't get the best ending because the hints there were maybe you can dream it again and change things and do it differently next time. So I died a horrible death in Chess's sister's house from radiation poisoning, being too close to the nuclear blast, I guess. So it's a free game, so I guess I can't complain too much, but yeah, I let's put it this way, I don't really have the desire to go play this game again. It wasn't that good or that interesting. I've definitely played better free games on Steam. Maybe I just had a bad route that I took through the game, but yeah, it wasn't that interesting, and honestly, I don't even know that it was worth my time. I'm glad I didn't pay anything for this game, but it was interesting, I guess, in a way. You guys all have to let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to go play this game yourself and see if you can have a better ending or a better outcome, The link is down below, and again, this game is completely free. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxter99. Take care.